a couple of things to kind of hit about last night before we move to another game with Dan Orlovsky. It was said by Tirico last night about the K-balls. Like, you saw Jake Elliott hit like a 56-yarder or 58-yarder, and that thing hit like 3/4 up the net. Brandon Aubrey obviously has a massive leg. Teams are now allowed to bring their own K-balls to the game. Okay, so it used to be a rule where teams could bring their own K-balls, and then it got a little ridiculous. Kickers started putting them in like washers and dryers, and these things became like rugby balls. And then all of a sudden, one of those accidentally got put into the field of play. A quarterback had to throw it. I think it was Brett. I'm not 100% sure, but it was a notable quarterback in a notable situation. A K-ball got onto the field. It was so big, so slick, threw a pick. So then they cracked down on K-balls. Then it was brand new footballs were what everybody was kicking. Straight out of the box, straight onto the tee. That's what you're going to kick. All the kickers and punters and special teams coach were like, this is bullshit. This is not good. So then they made a rule for like 10, 15 years where equipment managers, one from each team, would have a 30-minute time frame before the game where they would go into a locker room. There would be an NFL official watching them. They were allowed to have one brush, one bottle of water, and they had 30 minutes to break in 7 balls. So our guy, Frog, had great Christmases because he was probably the best in the entire league at breaking in these balls. But then we play against somebody else or another team that had a shitty ball breaker. That ball would make it onto the field. And when it comes from like a brand new ball to a well broken in ball, which is what these guys are going to be able to take into the game, Froggy was able to break it in about halfway. Okay, so like from brand new ball to what Froggy was able to do, probably like 7-8 yards. 7-8 yards. For a ball that's getting brought into the game, now it has to get stamped of approval. It can't just be the rugby ball that they had back in the day. But they're allowed to bring their practice balls, and if they pass the test that the refs are giving, I think it's a 10 to 15-yard swing for kicking and for punting. Wow. I think this is a big deal. I think this is very, very good for the brand, and I think you're going to see some long kicks this year. Huge punts as well. This also affects the punt game massively. Hang times are going to be absurd. Confidence is going to be at a different level as well. Because me as a punter, whenever I catch a ball and it feels like an absolute, like this ball wants to be murdered, it feels like it's broken in, you're just going to hit it like mentally so much harder. So I think this year with that rule change, it's going to affect things. And I think you're going to see a great year from the kickers.
Kickoffs too, Pat? Will that affect kickoffs too? Will it be harder for guys to field those balls, or will they not use them for kickoffs?
No, they'll still use those balls for kickoffs, and it might be slick for returners. Yeah, I didn't even think about like the punt returners having to kind of deal with it. It's not about the slickness. It's just about how broken in it is. It's not really like
a new ball has like ridges, like where it's sewn together. It's like there's like the ridges rise up a little bit. That's why you're right. Those guys that break the balls in, like you said, Frog, like they are invaluable. If you find a good one, they get whatever they need.
Buddy, Vinny kind of told me the game. Vinny's the one, Adam Vinatieri is the one that kind of gave me the whole story about what it used to be. We used to be able to use whatever balls we wanted, brother. It was awesome. Then somebody, abuse leads to restriction.
Pat, can I ask you a question on?
Go ahead.
Can I ask you a question about the return stuff? I didn't know about it until we met with you could put 3 returners back now. That's they're trying to continue to evolve the kickoff that teams are now. It's legal to have 3 returners back this season. You think anybody does that this weekend? If so?
Definitely. And also, I think you're going to see a lot of like creative kicks from the kickers trying to land it in the landing zone. The 35-yard line is insane to just sacrifice with a touchback. I think last night you saw a lot of different tries of kicks and styles of kicks. You saw some mishandling. The one guy back for Dallas was interesting, but obviously it's Turpin. You're going to want him to get the ball regardless. So I think you're going to see a lot of creative shit this year because that's what they're looking for right there. And if that was to skirt through the end zone there after landing in the landing zone and then go through the end zone, that touchback comes at a 20, which is old school, which is what that's a 15-yard advantage. That's a first down and a half advantage if you can get a kicker that can hit like a nasty squib that can go. Now, granted, if you hit a squib, there's a chance it lands early, then it goes to the 40. So there's a lot of, I think they are making it better. I think they are making it better. All right, let's pivot away from last night's game and kicking and punting. Just know it's going to be a great year for the brand. For it. Jake Elliott hit that ball almost over the net from 58. It was like, I love what we're seeing here. And I got a lot of texts from a lot of people around the league. They're like, brother, this is awesome. Like, this is, even the snappers, knowing the ball that they're going to snap, because the newer ball is actually more slick because there's a film on it than the ones that are a little broken in.